Okay, so we want to get out of the oblique design that we were going with last time. Okay, we want to get into either a 2-point perspective or an isometric view. It just allows us a bit more freedom with our designing and our sketch communication. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and let's start with this very simple one, and let's turn that into an isometric design. Very, very easy. So we know that our isometric, in terms of our box, let's elongate it in this direction slightly. And we'll have a slightly shorter version on this side. So isometric, everything parallel, everything vertical, nice and simple. Okay, and all we're going to do, we could choose on which face, maybe this front face here or this front face here, to take this design. Okay, and let's say we want it to be, let's go wider rather than shorter. So what I mean by that is we're going to manipulate it, we're going to change this design onto this front face here. In fact, no, let's make it long. So we'll go over from this side. We'll take our points, so that's roughly I'd say 1/3 of the way along and 2/3 of the way along the line. From that bottom corner, we're going to go up to here, like so. From this bottom corner, we're going to go up to here. And then we can just make this front face a little bit darker here. And then we can do exactly the same on the back. But this time I'm going to draw this line along and it's going to be parallel, like so. This line along and it's going to be parallel, oops, like that. And then from this point up, like this, and then back like this, and very, very quickly we have got a simple shape, okay, that we can build into. And if we're thinking about a water dispenser, you can kind of see how there are some ideas already that we could have to allow us to build into this shape to make our water dispenser a little bit more interesting. Now we can do exactly the same thing. Let's take this design. Let's go for a perspective view rather than isometric. So if I take my first vertical line, draw it back, this time these lines would eventually meet in the distance. We know about our perspective and our kind of tram lines by now, hopefully. If not, some other videos you can check out that will help you with that. Got our verticals here, and then this bit is going to go back and meet in the distance, and then this line is going to come and meet in the distance over here. So my perspective points are way off in that direction, and for these lines, my perspective points are way off in this direction. And just for completion of this, we've got these sections here, like so. Okay, so there is our 2-point perspective design. Now this one, pretty straightforward. How we're going to put it on? We're going to have this large face on the front here, smaller face at the back. So really it's exactly the same. From this corner, we're going to go up to that point. And then from this back corner, we're going up to this point. If I wasn't using a cuboid here, I wouldn't be able to get my perspective that good, I don't think. And then on the back here, I'm going to go, I know roughly 1/3 of the way, 2/3 of the way. So if I'm going to just construct this, I'm going vertically up here. I'm going to draw a cross that's kind of roughly parallel to these two lines because they're going to meet in the distance. And then I can join that corner up there, and I can join this corner up here. And I very, very quickly have my shape on the back. Now, easy, this corner is going to go to that corner. So I can kind of hover over to make sure I'm getting this right, and then commit to it. This corner to this corner. Same thing, hover over and then just commit to it. And then obviously this baseline follows this baseline here, over to there. Back lines we can't see, front line we can see, so we can make these a little bit darker coming up, a little bit darker going across there, up on the front. Okay, perfect. And there is start of our shape for our dispenser. Now that dark line at the back there is a little bit of putting, but you kind of get where we have come from. So you can do this with all of your shapes. Okay, it could be your cylinders, could be your cubes, could be your cuboids, depending on what you're doing, and it will basically allow you to manipulate it. So let's take one last one. Let's have a little look over here. What have we got? Maybe we go with, say, this shape here, something a little bit different. And I'm going to start, and I'm going to make it, let's go, let's keep it perspective. Let's go in the opposite direction this time. So I'm making sure these lines here would eventually meet over here. And I know these lines would also eventually meet in the distance. They're quite a subtle perspective going that way. Okay, so I'm taking this design and we're putting it onto here. So it's got a bit of a flat base. So this flat base here, roughly, I don't know, roughly 2/3 of the, probably about halfway, in fact, that'll do. And then up to here as well, but we've got a little bit of a curve on it. Those two meet like this. This is flat down to about there. This has got a curve like so, and this has also got a curve. Okay, so there's on the front, and then we can do exactly the same, and we're going to put that onto the back face as well. But maybe what we want to do is we want to make it a little bit smaller. We could change it slightly, so maybe let's just freestyle this back one, and let's go for a curve going in the opposite direction. Curve coming down here. We can keep this flat base because it's nice and stable. We can get our curve coming up to here, and then we can pop that on there. Right, so that's obviously a different shape, but we can still think about our corners. So this corner is going to meet up there, which is good. This corner is going to meet here, which is good. This corner is still going to meet down here, which is good. And then we've got this kind of base part, which is a bit tricky. So from the most, well, I suppose you think about it as like a tangential curve where they're touching, those two are meeting there. And then we have got a different shape. Now, you may want to use contour lines here to kind of help understand what's going on. So you may want to show that the curve kind of slowly gets a little bit straighter until it's not curved. That might help the eye, completely up to you. But what you can see is by using simple shapes, going to the oblique shape and then finally putting it into isometrical perspective, we're starting to get something that looks a little bit more like a product that we can work into again for the next stage. So that's what I will be showing you in the next video. Do have a look and see how you get on. Have a go at that.